Hello and welcome to a brand new little bonus episode of Where Do We Begin? My name is Harper. I am your host for today. Usually Locke is my co-host, but this is a little bonus episode, so it's just me today. It's the 13th of February, 2021, and if you're from Victoria, you'll know that today is the first day of our hopefully five-day lockdown, and things seem a bit glum at the moment, so we've decided to put out a bit of bonus content for you, a bit of a best of 2020 series. So over the next 5 days, we're going to be bringing some highlights from our 30 episodes that we released last year. So we hope you enjoy all of these over the next few days. This first episode is based around the question we've been asking recently in more recent episodes. What's your life philosophy? We've asked that to maybe 4 guests, I think, so far, and a lot more for season 2. Keep your eyes out for that, by the way. So we've put in some of the best bits of that, and we hope you enjoy. This first one is from Rowan Connolly, and that is episode 27. It's a really good episode, this episode with Rowan Connolly. This came at the pretty close to the end of it, so check out from start to finish, episode 27 with Rowan Connolly. Before we get to our very final segment, I've just got one last question, and it's a bit of a broad question, but I was wondering if you've got a bit of a life philosophy or a principle that kind of guides you, or a quote or anything that kind of guides you in the decisions you make and the actions you take in life in general.
I probably haven't, but 2 things just sprung into my head. One is something I say to people jokingly, when I'm offering advice or whatever, I want them to do something. I do have a bit of a tendency to micromanage stuff, So if I'm advising someone how to do something, I'll always say, don't fuck it up. The other one is one I know my dad used to say a lot, and my mum still says, God love her. And I think it's a good look. I tend to be a glass half empty person, or some would say a glass never had anything in it sort of person. But I like the line, don't let the bastards get you down, because people can criticise you and you can have setbacks and stuff. But, and this is a cliche, but how you respond to setbacks says a lot about your resilience, and about your capacity to rebound and not be broken by something. And it's hard to do sometimes. I've had some shocking downs in my life, I really have. I've coped with tragedy. I lost my brother at the age of 36. My father, my father lived to a decent age, but I lost him. I had a marriage breakdown. I had a fairly disastrous relationship subsequent to that. She who must not be named, but I'm sort of proud that I've been able to soldier on in a way. So, don't let the bastards get you down.
I really like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good. I said it was good then, and it was still good now. I hope you guys found that interesting and enjoyable. Mr. Rowan Connolly, that was a really good episode to be a part of. Great guy to speak to. Hopefully we can even get him back on the pod at some stage again in the future. But we're going to skip ahead a couple episodes now to our next life philosophy. It's that of the great man. He's a Socceroos legend, Socceroos captain, and just a legend of football in Australia, really. It's episode 29, Paul Wade.
And we've got one final question before we widen the mood a bit and get to our world famous quiz. And it's just, do you have any life philosophy, just any little thing that you like to word or quote that you like to live by?
Yeah, there's a couple. I've always liked words will tell me what you think. Actions will tell me what you believe. I like that one.
Yeah.
That's
I like that
cracker.
one. And the other one, and this is my opinion, because leadership is the example you set and the culture you create. And by culture, I've always thought of 3 things. I've always thought of humility, actually 4. Humility, respect, honesty, and loyalty. To me, 4 very important ingredients to make up a great culture. Basically, humility, respect, honesty, and loyalty. Loyalty to your team, loyalty to your family and your friends, that can be easily broken. When all the pressure of all the others comes under the microscope, loyalty is the one thing that can break up a team.
Yeah, bloody inspirational, the whole story you've given, and that life philosophy, that's something that all of our listeners can kind of hopefully bring into their lives and
learn a little bit from.
Learn from it, because it's just a great view on life that you have there. So good on you for that, mate.
Thank you. You can steal those. I stole them from somebody else.
Now, if there's one person you want to be taking inspiration, life lessons from, it's probably from Mr. Paul Wade, the Socceroos captain, former Socceroos captain, an absolute legend. He's a motivational speaker now, does all kinds of speaking things. So, yeah, I've tried to take some of his lessons on board, lessons from all the guests, and it's really helped me, and I know Lockie in life. So I'd encourage you to try to take some of the stuff on board. But we're going to go to our next one. We're actually jumping back a few episodes now. It's back to episode 24 from a very philosophical man. He says he's a very deep thinker. They call him Aristotle out at the GWS Giants. We had a chat while he was on his farm on a break post-season. It's Mr. Harry Perryman. Yeah, mate, I was kind of, this podcast, this episode's gone through a range of topics. I was going with stuff like issues with some of the food in the hub, but I'm going to get into something a bit deep now, if you don't mind. Like, I know you've lived your whole life on the farm, like you've said, really, or obviously a few years in Sydney, but is there like a particular life philosophy or like a quote you live by, anything like that?
I don't know. I'm not really much of a deep thinker. I don't know. I don't really go off many quotes, but I don't mind Dylan Buckley. You know Dylan Buckley, his podcast.
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
I don't mind his little saying he's got.
What one's that?
I think it's be yourself, everyone, because everyone else is taken. He loves saying that. So,
mate, you took that from Oscar Wilde, but I love it.
I'm just going. That's about the only quote I know, so I'm just going to say that.
Yeah, listening to that one for the first time in a few months. Harry was a really funny guy to talk to. We all really enjoyed that. We hope you did too. And if you haven't listened to it or you want to listen to it again, go back to episode 24, of course, with Harry Perryman, the GWS player in the AFL. It was a real barrel of laughs. But we're going to move on to our next one. I believe it was actually our last episode, the last full episode that was released, episode 30, with one of the greatest hockey players of all time. So fair to say, not quite a small name guest, very, very big name, with Alison Annan.
And I think this is a perfect little segue to our last question. It's, do you have any life philosophy, any little quote that you live by that you think that, I guess, you sort of like base decisions on, or that you feel like, emulates anything with how you go about it?
Yeah, look, the biggest thing for me is keep learning and endeavour to be the best that you can be in every way possible.
Nice and simple.
That's pretty much it. And have fun along the way. If I stop enjoying what I'm doing, then I'll stop coaching.
Yeah, Lockie, I've got to say, I reckon we could make a motivational book out of all the life philosophies we've got from our guests, because it's pretty inspirational stuff. Indeed it was. Very, very inspirational stuff from the Hockeyroos legend and legend of Where Do We Begin. In fact, Alison Annan, and I've got to say, I'll just confirm that book is in the works. We've written the first 2 pages, but that's all we've got up to really, because we haven't asked this question too many times. But after a few more years, we'll be ready to release the book, which I guarantee will be a bestseller. But anyway, that was our final life philosophy for today. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Maybe even were a little bit inspired or motivated by some of the life philosophies that you heard. And I've got to say, stay tuned for more of these bonus episodes to come over the next few days, especially if you're in Victoria. I hope it cheers you up over this 5-day lockdown. And also stay tuned for a big announcement of when our season 2 episodes are going to be released, because that is going to be absolutely huge. And you can check out when those announcements are going to be released and when the episode's going to be released over at our socials at WDWB Pod on Instagram and Twitter, or just Where Do We Begin on Facebook. And maybe if you are in Victoria, I've got to say, Hope you're staying well. Hope your friends are staying well. So reach out to your friends. Maybe even send them a little Where's We Begin episode, a link to this episode if they want to be a bit motivated. Also, we wouldn't mind a cheeky review on Apple Podcasts because that's how we get good listeners. Haven't got too many reviews, even we've got a fair whack of listeners. So help build us up. That would be very, very, very much appreciated. We'll see you tomorrow for another bonus episode. Hope you enjoyed. Love all of you. Thank you very, very much for listening and have a good day.